Hello everyone, this is greZoN from KNE Gaming. I'm bringing you a brief cast from one of the first games in our recent tournament for the Bronze and Silver League on StarCraft 2, the European realms. We are planning to do quite a few more tournaments as an organization from KNE. We were quite happy to see such big interest. We actually had to increase the bracket for this tournament, and that was quite good interest, even though the prize pool was as small as just a €10 first prize. But hopefully we can get some sponsorships going and increase those prize pools as we go. We're about to host a full metal tournament this weekend and hopefully see similar interest on that. Also, it was quite interesting to see that we did not see nearly as much cheese going on as you could have expected in a tournament of this level. So we were quite happy with that, and we'll definitely see a few more tournaments along this line, especially for the lower end people, since that seems to be a real demand for that among the player base and in the community. So, what I'm going to bring you today is a game from round 1 of the tournament. You should be seeing the bracket right now, and this game is between Mr. Azchezuazche and Mr. LunaSaint, and I probably will be referring to Azchezuazche as the Protoss, or maybe Ache, because that name is just not very fun to try and pronunciate in any way or fashion. So, without any further ado, let's jump into and let's take a look at this game. We can see the Ache spawning as the purple Protoss down in the bottom left on Silnaga, and in top right we can see LunaSaint spawning, so as a green Terran. Again, keep looking at KNE-gaming.com for news about our up-and-coming tournaments and any events we might host. Currently it's very focused on StarCraft, but you can definitely be expecting to see other games here, and especially if you are a Nordic-based player, you want to keep an eye on our community, because we're looking to do some Nordic-specific stuff as well. We can see down here the Protoss is reaching 9 supply, and probably the pylon is going down right there. Yes, that is true. And up in the top, the Terran is putting down his 10 supply depot, I would imagine. We can also see that Achen is actually sending out his early scout already after that first pylon. Other than that, nothing too drastic going on this map. They're just feeling each other up. There doesn't seem to be any cheese going on or anything like that. We can see that they keep producing probes, and we can also and SCVs, of course. The scouting probe is heading up towards the Terran base and is about to meet up with Luna's worker, who is going out to scout himself at the same time as the barrack is going down. Let's see if there's a harass going on here. No, Aachen is just content to scout. In the meantime, we can see the gateway being produced in the Protoss base. So we see some clicking going on, some scouting going on. There's no gas taking at either player's ends yet. And let's see if there's a worker harass going on. Yeah, there is a bit of worker harass going on. Not more than one though, so I guess he's gonna leave the worker alone. Here comes another SCV to help out with the worker harass, but the probe is heading out, no danger of that. In the meantime, the SCV is approaching the Protoss base, where a gas has been taken, and equally so in the Terran base. And there we go, he's back on the harass. Is he gonna get that worker? He will definitely get that worker. That would be fairly huge at this point. No, he's moving off. I'm fairly sure he could have killed that worker if he wanted to. That would have been a pretty bad hit for the Terran. In the meantime, we see one guy on gas on the Terran side. We see 0 guys on gas on Protoss side. Another pylon going down. And the probe is running for its life. The barrack finished. And no Marine as of yet. We see a cybernetic score going down as the Marine gets started for Mr. Terran. In the meantime, the SCV of Luna is heading back to just keep an eye on the Silnaga tower in the middle. And his other SCV is definitely desperately chasing. We see the orbital command coming down from Terran side. And he's doing that as he hits 16 workers, 17 workers for the probe, the Protoss. And still no military units out, and none in production either, well, other than the Terran Marine, of course. Sorry about that. The SCV is being taken for a little bit of a ride, and we can see a bunker being produced by Terran, so he's going for a wall off here. He expects to be able to have to deal with some early pressure. And the chase is on. SCV hunting the probe. Other than that, not much going on. No additional gateways as of yet. Both players are keeping their money fairly low, so it's going pretty good. We got an APM about of 50 to 100, a little bit depending on what's going on, so it's not totally horrible. So these guys know what they're doing for Bronze and Silver League guys, and as we said, we appreciate to not see any cheese going on. A Marauder is being made, mules being called down. Other than that, probes are continuously made. We see another pylon going down, and the chase is still going on with that SCV. He probably needs to take it out, and here comes the Stalker to do indeed take it out. And that's gonna give us a unit lost for the Terran. First kill of the game. Other than that, the barracks is continue to produce Marines after that Marauder. We see another command center going down before the second barracks, so we're definitely seeing some kind of macro thing going on from this Terran. And at the same time, Mr. Protoss is adding on 2 more gateways, keeping 3 guys on gas, and the Terran is keeping 2 guys on gas. A little bit of a non-standard approach, I suppose, but I guess he's not really using that gas at this point anyway. But since he built that Marauder, there's no upgrades going down at the moment yet. Stalker's moving out, taking the Slnaga to have a look at it. At the same time, the SCV is holding the other. So let's see if the Stalker is actually having a peek at the Terran base. And if we look at the minimap, it looks like something is moving out there, as is the sentry holding off the ramp. He's checking for expansions. Expansion is not nearly done, so he's going up to take a look, and the people are in the bunker defending. There is no way he's going to get past that with just 1 Stalker, but at least he knows there's no expansion. And other than that, there's not much going on. We see another barracks being added, and Stim being researched by Luna. We see a robotics facility going down, while the 3 gateways are actually being morphed into warp gates, so that's good news for Aachen. He should be able to put on some pressure now. He just decided to pass that SCV. Now there we go. The scouting SCV is getting taken out. And it goes down. So that brings us to 2 SCVs lost for Mr. Terran, Luna, and Mr. Protoss have not yet to lose anything. The armies are fairly small at this point. The Terran is way ahead on army count, but looking at the workers, it's decently similar. The mules are by far making up for the difference in worker count. And we can see another orbital command being made. That was the reason he delayed that, at the same time as the Protoss threw down his expansion on his natural, putting up another pylon to be able to warp in units. See a fairly high sentry count, and yes, there's definitely a second gas that has been taken to support that. No upgrades from the Protoss. We can see the robotics facility finishing with a rally point way up into the Terran space. So yes, there comes the observer to see what's going on. And Luna is sending out another SCV. Not sure why, just to kind of check out what's going on here, I suppose. Or is he gonna go for a third already before he's even flew out the second? There goes the second one out. Yeah, it's supposed to land on a natural. This SCV is taking a little ride, taking a break, and just kind of making sure nobody's sitting on the high ground messing with this expansion, I suppose. Not sure what he intends to do with that SCV. In the meantime, we can see how Protoss is actually starting to catch up on the army count, while the observer is making his way over to figure out what's going on here. So Terran is actually researching his first upgrade. Protoss is still missing the upgrades, but he's working on a robotics base, so we can definitely be seeing some heavier units in a second. And we see a worker transfer. Actually, a good bit of his workers getting transferred at this point. starport going down for the Terran. This worker is just still doing here. We moved out a few troops from Luna to kind of protect this expansion. The mules are getting called down here, but we don't see a worker transfer yet. So we have a fairly well saturated base on his main. Nothing really moving to the natural. He's taking another gas, so I guess he wants to pay for those upgrades. Potentially get a few more marauders in the mix. There comes the transfer also. The observer should be around somewhere. Is it lost? No, the observer is still around somewhere looking for... There he is. He's looking at the guys watching the natural, and we can see 3 bunkers going down for Luna. So he's taking this really careful while he's taking his 4th gas as well. 1 harvester in that one. We got 3 in that one and 3 in that one. So now he's saturated those. Protoss is still down to... Well, he's up to 4 gas as well. Of course he needs that to support it and to be able to get out his Colossi and support that. We don't see the range upgrade of the Colossi yet. That's apparently being waited on. He has full idea of what's going on in Luna's base. He knows there's no push coming. He is fairly knowledgeable about the fact that there isn't really much coming out of the factory at this point. So he's probably taking his time, just building up a gateway army unit here with some complements of Colossi to be able to pretty much move out and kill this Terran off. As you see in the supply at the top, Aachen is actually quite a bit ahead at this point. And Luna was supply blocked there for a second, but isn't anymore. He's finished that. And I think we may have either a mech play coming on or just a simple scouting factory. Actually, it looks like a scouting factory going out. You know, if you're not going to build anything out of your factory, you might as well put it to use. Especially if you don't intend to really put any more starports on the field at this point. You can see there's no medevacs being produced, and there's no medevacs on the map yet. And his money is fairly high, so he could definitely have gone for a few medevacs already and maybe considering doing a push, but he's just filling up his bunkers. In the meantime, Aachen is actually moving out with a few gateway units, 1 Colossi. Take a peek at the natural here.